Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining and for coming back. This is Joanna the Medium and your Intuitive Coach. Just very quickly, these are going to be your October readings. I use different cards, sometimes different decks in different readings. Always remember these are general readings, so if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. Also, if you would like to have the long-term forecast from July until the end of the year, you can do so, or you can purchase those videos on my video page or Vimeo page, and that information is also down below for you. I don't think I have anything that is pressing other than thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for sharing. I always want to make sure that I say this first and foremost, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And remember that these messages are general, like I said, and they may not apply to all of you. Some messages may apply to some of you. Some messages may apply to different parts of your life, or a little bit of my message may apply to some of your life. So take what makes sense and discard what doesn't. But always remember, it is almost always, these messages never make sense at the beginning of a month, and they almost always make sense towards the end of the month and the beginning of the next month, which would be November, for this series. So also listen to your moon sign and your rising sign, as these may offer you greater clarity. And I think that's all I have. Enjoy these videos, and I look forward to hearing from you. And if you wish to book a reading with me, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, beautiful Aquarians. This is going to be your reading for the month of October. Just like most of the other readings, it looks like you two are going through a process of transition. That won't be all of you, but it will certainly be probably majority of you. There will be a transition in your life to some extent. So let me just go through what I received as far as a channeled message. When I asked for information to be channeled through for you guys, Aquarians, the first thing I heard was the word resolution, which was really interesting because, think of the word resolution, and that can apply to gazillion different things. I'm just going to go through what I heard. Transitions, resolutions. I also saw some of you scoring. So when I saw a vision of you scoring, it basically means a win. So many of you will be looking at winning something. Obviously, this is not necessarily lottery winning, but this is more about scoring. This is about something you have been working towards for quite some time, and you score, and it is felt as a win. And this can come in many different ways. It feels to be job related, it feels to be career related, it could also be obviously gambling, although I don't feel that as the biggest message. Anything that you have been working on very hard, for many of you, there's going to be a resolution that comes with a win. I also felt for some of you, this was connected to a lawsuit. Whatever the score was, if there is money connected to this, I saw there was money shown around the win. And the number 11, which is actually the card of judgment in a traditional tarot deck, was also shown to me. So looks like there is some of you who are dealing with a legal matter, and there will be a point of resolution or amicable resolution. That's what I want to say. And some of you will get financial reward from this. Obviously, legal component could be in any area of your life. So that's what I saw. For some of you, it's scoring a career, something you've been working for so long, something you have been publishing, something you have been wanting to publish. For those of you who are working at publishing article or a book or a book, there seems to be a component of you winning or scoring. That's the word that comes. So that's one component, and hopefully that's going to be for many of you as far as winning, because that's always nice. The other thing that I saw is, please make sure that you are very careful, because what I saw is you potentially losing your keys. And it was shown to me as you sitting down and the keys fall on the floor and you may not be able to see it, and that can translate into you leaving the place and having no keys. So please pay attention for those of you especially who put keys in your pocket, because this was shown to me coming out of your pocket. Make sure that particularly in the month of October, always, but particularly in the month of October, pay attention so that you don't lose your keys, because that's going to give you a headache. So that's a bit of a interesting thing. Let me just see what else I saw. Out of pocket, yes. Many of you, or some of you, are going to be looking at a new home. This was shown to me either as a purchase or a brand new rent or lease. I saw a family move, so some of you will be looking at a comfortable move to a new home. For some of you, you'll be looking at building a home, but there is a move, so that also signifies transition. Some of you will be trying new things, and these things could very well be career, they could be relationship. There is an emotional component to it, so the trying of the new things will be more on an emotional level. This could be trying relationship, a new relationship that's different, trying a new an activity that makes you feel good, that's out of the norm for you, trying to a job or a career, a situation in a job, maybe a different role, and that you're going to be dipping your toes in, that's going to be new. You're going to try things out. So there's a component of you trying new things, and there's emotion connected to it. So that's something that you're going to feel this out. So that was what I saw. Is there anything else that I saw? No. Then I went on with cards and I said, okay, what is the overall energy for the month of October for the sign of Aquarius? And again, I heard the word transition, and 2 cards came up. They actually asked me to use a different deck. 2 cards came up, they came together. The first card, one was 5 of Pentacles, and the other one is Chariot in reverse. So the way I got the message was that some of you may feel a slight non-movement with regards to your work situation or a situation around money, which is interesting because the message that I heard was that many of you will have a score, or you will score, or you will have a goal, or you will win. So for the first part of the month, you might feel as you go through the transition, or as you are going through a transition, you might feel some fears may come up around money, around not having enough, around feeling like there's not enough. And that's because things may have not been going for you the way you wanted, and there seems to be a bit of a stall. I mean, Chariot in reverse is very much about feeling out of control, having no lack, having like you have no control or lack of control. And there's also a bit of aggression with this. So for some of you, there's definitely a transition period. That is what I feel very, very strongly. As a matter of fact, I do see the Fool in my mind. So there's a component of brand new beginning. Another sign got this as well. Many signs actually got this. So do not be alarmed if at some point in the month of October, you have some worries around money or around possessions. Relationship, yes, but I particularly want to talk about money because there is a lack of movement in a certain area. So a thing that comes to me right away is if you're looking for work and you have been out of work for quite some time, you might feel those emotions amplified. But remember, I also saw many of you are starting new things. So it feels like some of you will be feeling a whole bunch of different emotions. There will be a sense of loss on some level, and then also there will be an elation. So it sounds like many of you will be experiencing not contradicting emotions, but one extremes and the others. You'll be experiencing different extremes of an emotion, and so that seems to be the overall energy. I want to say don't be alarmed, because you are in a transition, and obviously, for those of you who are looking to get a new home or are wanting to purchase a new home, you might feel slight stress or worry around the money component. Particularly if you're wanting to purchase a new home, you may feel that there is a bit of stress around money. If you're looking to rent a new home or move your family, that can cause a bit of worry around the financial component. So that is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing you necessarily losing jobs or anything in that fashion. This is more about a feeling that's going to be amplified with a situation that is either happened before or something that's triggering it. So then I said, okay, tell me, what are they facing? One of the things that you're facing is the card of peace came up in reverse or in a protection position. And what this is talking about is, as you go through this time, it is really important for you to go deep within and find some sense of peace within you, despite the temporary conditions around you that may not feel very peaceful. So that was very interesting, considering what the overall energy is, and the cards are very different. So whether it's meditation, whether it's relaxation technique, whether it's hypnosis, self-hypnosis, whether it's exercise, anything that you can do in order to assist yourself in the process of this transition will be very beneficial and actually crucial for you. And then I'm hearing the words, this too shall pass. So there's definitely some of you that will be dealing with some stuff that will feel not comfortable. But at the same time, when I said, what is it that they need to be on the lookout for? The card by the book came up in reverse or in protection position. And basically what this says is, this might be the time for you to change your consciousness. This might be the time for you to look at the things you've always done or how you have always done things. Look at your habits, look at your ideals, look at your beliefs, because this is a time for you to change the way you think and therefore the way you feel. So whatever you are going through, whatever is causing you to be in a transition period, it is because your old beliefs are going to be amplified in order for you to understand that some of those beliefs and the old ways of doing things no longer serve you. And the most beautiful part about this is that as you uproot your belief system and as you say, I choose not to do this anymore, or you are in an environment and somehow you find that your environment is no longer speaking to what you want to do, or in other words, the belief system or the way things are done by your environment, you're no longer are resonating with it, and therefore you might say, I'm going to walk away because this no longer serves me. Because of this, this is what the other card came up, serendipity, which is luck. So interesting, because, excuse me for the noise here, I don't know how to fix it. What is being said here is that many of you will be facing transitions, and it is a good time for you to realize that maybe it's time to change the way you think. Maybe it's time to change the way you've done things. Maybe it's time to change the way you have perceived your environment. And as a matter of fact, if you choose to do that, wonderful things will align for you. So this is about going out of the norm, moving out of the norm, doing things that are different than what you have always done, looking at things differently than what you have always looked at. This is basically a change of perception that's being offered to you, or at least the opportunity for you to change your perception. Because as you know, and I talk about this all the time, perception truly is everything. You can look at one thing one way and look at the same thing in a different way. Your entire perception of the thing you're looking at will change. So I love actually what's happening, because although there is a transition here, there's an opportunity to completely reframe the way you have done things. So for those of you who are going through a separation, for example, this could be separation from work, this could be separation from a friend, this could be separation from a project, this could be separation from a loved one, obviously. But as you go through this separation, there is an opportunity for you to look at that relationship, and we relate with work as well as with people, and ask yourself, is this the way I want to continue going forward, or is there something I want to change about me or the way I've done things, and therefore experience something different? There's a tremendous opportunity here to completely reframe your entire concept, and therefore how you relate to the world. And always remember, the world will always give you back the feedback that is based on your self-concept. So the example is being given here, and this is just a very primitive example, but it's going to serve a purpose. If one is always thinking they don't have enough money, if one is always believing money is not for them, if one is always thinking, I'll never get a good job, I'll never be able to afford this or that, that is your concept. It comes from wherever you come from, and it became the concept, which is you, whatever your name is. And what's happening in the month of October may allow you to look at those aspects of you and decide if this is what you want to take going forward. And the next card is even more beautiful, because I said, okay, give me another message. What would you like them to know? And I took a different deck, and the card is called Generosity. So this is actually phenomenal, because the word generosity is obviously very straightforward, and there is no need to explain this, but this card is talking about giving freely without strings attached. What does this mean? For example, if you are in a relationship and you always feel taken advantage of, you will naturally hold yourself back when you give, because there is a string attached to you giving, because you don't believe that people can truly give without any agenda. So that's an example that's being given to me. Obviously there's gazillion other examples: giving without strings attached, giving without agendas, giving without expectations. And when we learn to do that, we realize that the universe will give back 1,000 times more, tenfold, whatever the word is, when we give without agenda, or when we give without expectation of receiving. This can be externalized in different ways. So there's another point to this message. The other part of the message is, if you have a tendency to be very critical of yourself, you will have a tendency to be very critical of others, because we always judge others based on how we judge ourselves. It's just that simple. So notice if you are quite judgmental about yourself, and notice if you have any tendencies to judge other people. Judgment comes purely from lack, from feeling lack. If we feel good within ourselves, and if we feel abundant, our ability to judge people is going to be far more reduced, far more reduced. So the message about this with this card is, try to find the positive in someone that you normally want to judge. When you see somebody on the street and you are drawn right away to something that is perceived by you as a negative, pause and ask yourself, what is about this person that I feel is positive? that one act alone of paying attention to these things has the potential to completely transform and raise your energy and vibration, and the universe will give back to you what you give to others. Because when you focus on something that's positive about someone, it is a high vibrating energy. It feels good when you pay somebody a compliment that's genuine. It feels good, particularly when you pay a compliment without wanting something in return. The universe always gives back to you tenfold, but don't have any attachment. So give freely without receiving, without the need to receive, because the receiving will happen naturally as a result of giving. So if you are in a relationship, freely give, and the more you respect yourself, the universe will give back to you. It's just a natural process. So if you come from a background where there were a lot of conditions put upon being emotionally connected, or if there was a lot of conditions being put on you being loved or you receiving love, naturally you will take those conditions and you will put those conditions on somebody else, or you will put those conditions upon yourself, and that does not create a free flow of energy. It creates blocks and it creates problems down the road. So this is asking you to consider some of the things that you've always done. Another example is being given to me is this. Let's say you have a partner and your partner wants you have a conversation, and there's something in your mind that says, I'm not going to share this because he doesn't share this with me. So I'm not going to share because he doesn't share, therefore I'm not going to share. That's a game. That's a mind game. That creates blocks. Notice if you're doing some of those things that hold you back from truly just being you. So this is also a message about being you. When you are fully authentic with yourself, without any pretenses, without any trying to be somebody you're not in order to belong, in order to get attention, whatever it is that we do, when you truly become very authentic with yourself, life is going to show you by giving you back authenticity and creating an environment that will bring back to you meaningful relationships, more meaningful jobs, more meaningful environments, more meaningful everything. So this is really about a change, transition, but it's also about a transformation. The Fool is being shown to me. So for many of you, some of you will resist. Yes, that's very normal. We always resist things that we have been used to because, well, it's familiar. So if you are going through a process of transition, if something is happening in your life where things are just not going the way you wanted them to, know that for the most part it is in your best benefit, it's to your benefit. You just may not be aware of it right now. So part of the message is go with the flow. So let me just recap. Transitions, absolutely. Many of you will find resolutions. Many of you will score a goal, or you will have a win. There's money around this. Some of this could be around a lawsuit. Be careful about your keys, because there's a possibility of you losing your keys by them falling out of pocket. Also, some of you may move to a new home. You will be looking at purchasing, renting, or leasing a new home, and some of you will have a family move or will be thinking about family move. This may cause some financial stress, and that's okay. Just notice what's happening and pay attention to your credit card. Why did I just say that? Overspending. Okay. For some of you, pay attention to not overspending. In other words, he literally said to me, pay attention to your credit card. So for some of you, be careful where you leave your credit card or who you leave your credit card information with, okay? And for some of you, be careful you don't overspend, so you don't rack your bills, your credit limit to the max, because unnecessarily. And some of you will be trying new things, emotionally speaking, new opportunities with work, new relationships, dating new people, just trying different things. This could be as simple as trying a cooking class to as complicated as trying, to create a brand new, I don't know, a project from scratch. It could be anything. There is definitely a change in the air, but it's positive. So I think that's all I have for you. The other thing that's being said here is have faith. So for some of you who will be going, oh, what's happening? Have faith. Everything is working out the way it's supposed to. Everything is going to be okay, despite the temporary setbacks or non-movement. I hope this was helpful to you. And I certainly hope it makes sense probably at the end of the month, typically not at the beginning. Of course, if you wish to have a private session, this is general, so it may not apply to all of you. And bits and pieces may apply to some of you, so always listen to this at the end of the month. And of course, if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and for liking. I look forward to seeing you again in November, and I wish you best of luck. Take care. Bye.